Librarians who faced harassment amid the culture war over book bans could soon have more protections. A bill making its way through Trenton would prevent the kind of social media trolling and intimidation librarians like Martha Hickson from North Hunterdon High School experienced over the last year. Hickson was called a pedophile and child groomer, among other accusations. But the bill would also give local school boards some guidance for deciding which books make it onto the shelves. Our education and child welfare reporter Hannah Gross covered the hearing where those on both sides of the issue spoke about it for hours while lawmakers took a vote. Hannah joins me now with the details. Hannah, good to see you. So talk to me a little bit about this hearing because the turnout was somewhat unprecedented.
Thanks, Bree. It was probably the most crowded committee room I've been in since I started here. There was more than 70 people in the room listening to 4 hours of testimony with people on both sides of the issue. The majority were in support of the bill, the Freedom to Read Act. And there was also a ton of people in an adjacent overflow room who were coming in and out to testify.
So this bill, the Freedom to Read Act, we've known that it's been coming down the pike. Lawmakers have been working on it. What has remained in the bill up to this point?
Yeah, so the bill directs the Commissioner of Education and some other groups, including the New Jersey State Librarian, the New Jersey Association of School Librarians, to come up with a model policy for librarians to use to curate their collections and also for the removal of library books.
So a set of standards that they can use.
Exactly.
What about the protections for librarians? Did we hear from them during this testimony?
A ton of librarians were there testifying in support of the bill and what this would mean for them, because a lot of them have been subject to harassment, whether online or in person at school board meetings, oftentimes making it hard for them to do their jobs and impacting their health and their mental health.
So what in the guidelines then helps schools, the districts themselves, figure out which books should be accepted?
So books in school libraries generally are approved by a team of people, not just the school librarian. Oftentimes it's going all the way up to the superintendent for approval of books that are being purchased. And a big part of the new bill would be creating removal policies. And in order for a book to be removed, it must be petitioned by a member of the community. So a student, a parent, a teacher, rather than someone from outside of the community.
So it would make it ostensibly harder to ban a book from a school?
I think it might make it a little bit harder. You could say that, but also it has clearer guidelines for if someone wanted a book out of the library, they would know exactly how to go through that process.
Were some of the complaints coming from folks outside of the district or the community previously? Is that why they included that stipulation?
According to the New Jersey Library Association, a lot of the challenges have been coming from people outside of a local community trying to challenge a book. And some groups have been circulating lists of books that they think don't belong in schools. So there is a bit of a concerted effort.
What did parents' rights groups and other opponents have to say about it?
So a lot of the parents' rights groups, they had concerns that their children would have access to books they deemed inappropriate or pornographic, and that their students might be able to get their hands on those books without parent permission while they're in school.
Was there a counter to that from any of the testimony given?
I mean, the librarians maintained throughout the entire hearing that they have a master's degree in how to appropriately curate these collections, and they know what books are developmentally appropriate. And a lot of the books that have been challenged do have LGBTQ plus themes, and a lot of LGBTQ advocates emphasize that these books are important for people to understand who they are.
We should note the bill still has a long way to go before being passed or voted on from the full legislature. Hannah Gross, thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you, Bree.